The holiday season isn't always a happy time for everyone. Today, millions of Americans are suffering from mental illness. 19 million of them are diagnosed with depression. Not only are these illnesses devastating, but sometimes they can be deadly. Reporter Julie Bollier tells us now about information, emotional support, and the power of prayer when it comes to coping with mental illness during the holiday season.
Ryan was 14. He had just turned 14 a week before he died. And he had struggled with depression, and he was doing everything he possibly could do to be better.
Mental illness can be deadly. Suicide was the cause of death for all of these local people you see on this quilt. And yet, these diseases that can affect the brain continue to carry social stigma and a sense of shame. There can be more of an impact on individuals and their families during the holiday season due to added stress and memories. Dr. Maria Rousseau-Apple is the Chief Medical Officer at Providence Behavioral Health Hospital in Holyoke. She believes that false perceptions of the disease still exist.
There are many false perceptions out there. Probably the first false impression is that people with mental illness are violent or that they're going to hurt you in some way. Certainly, part of the stigma, I believe, as well, is that it's the person's fault and that they have control, and if they just pull themselves up, they should be able to get over it. And it certainly doesn't work that way.
Several agencies offering information and support to patients and their families are available. One is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, or AFSP. Its Western Mass Chapter Associate Area Director, Cheryl Ronzoni, helps to coordinate Survivors of Suicide Loss Day, held at Elms College each fall.
It's something we do. It's something that all the chapters do the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and it's survivors of suicide coming together. They've lost loved ones or friends, and they come together for the day. They watch a video produced by AFSP. We have panel discussion, and we have breakout sessions based on loss.
Everyone's had a loss in their lives to death, but people don't always lose someone to suicide. So I think it's particularly difficult and helpful for them to be in a group like this. It's very supportive and non-judgmental.
Diana and Paul Lewis lost their 14-year-old son to suicide in 2001. Denise Aiken also lost a child to suicide. Her adult son, Clarence, died in 2013. She says that her faith in God and the love of others helped her cope.
It's a journey like no other. Thank God I've had God, my friends, my family, and especially my family and friends to help me through this. There are so many other people going through the same thing as me, and it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to share how your loved one passed, to get the awareness out.
Many of us know someone who has passed away or is still suffering from mental illness. If you yourself are suffering from mental illness, a sense of togetherness and general awareness of spirituality can be helpful to all involved, explains Dr. Rousseau-Apple.
I certainly believe that there's a meditative quality to prayer, and that meditative quality can be extremely soothing to someone who might be battling internal demons or struggling with mental health issues. I also believe it's a source of hope, which is very important, that we all feel hope in whatever we're suffering with. And I think that prayer is also a way that we rally around each other.
If you or a loved one suffers from mental illness, you may want to consider the power of prayer. Providence Behavioral Hospital hosted its first interfaith prayer ceremony at the flagpole on October 5th, led by Springfield Bishop Rosansky. The first week in October is nationally dedicated to mental illness, recovery, and understanding. Now that we're into the holiday season, individuals and their caregivers are encouraged not to feel isolated, to tap into their spirituality, and to seek the support of others.
Well, I think the holidays are a tough time for anyone who has suffered a loss. So I think it's a really great idea to do it right before the holidays, because it could give people some other skills in terms of coping with that loss, particularly around the holidays. And for people who are newly bereaved, I think it's really helpful.
Mental illnesses are real diseases that can be very painful and traumatic to both patients and their loved ones, especially during the holiday season. Help, comfort, and care is available. For more information, log on to mercycares.com. And remember, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is open 24/7 by dialing 1-800-273-TALK. For Real to Real, this is Julie Beaulieu.